I'd like to take you on a tour of my garden here in Lewis, Delaware. We purchased this about 6 years ago. The house was built in 1730. Most exciting for us was to transform the garden. One of the first things we needed to do was figure out what kind of fence we wanted. We found a photograph of a 1730 fence. We copied that with some changes. And you can see it's made out of cedar. It's quite simple. And it really, like a frame on a painting, is what this really does. This is the inlet part of the fence, which will take you into the garden, to our front walkway. Notice the walkway taking us from the front gate up to the front door. The walkway is made with all recycled materials, the brick and the limestone. And the thing that's really important is to notice the gentleness of the steps. They're not like real steps, they're just really a pleasure to go up and down. There are a lot of nooks and crannies where we can put plants in to make it all very garden-esque. And it's here year-round, so it really adds to the overall beauty of the garden. This front area, when we first got this property, was completely all lawn. What we did is we got tarp and we laid it over the lawn. We kept it on for 6 months. When we took it off, the lawn was almost dead and it was warm out, so I sprayed it with white vinegar and it did the final kill on the lawn. Then I was able to get organic compost from a great source and spread it all over this garden area. It turns out we have fabulous drainage here, and so the combination of the compost and the sandy soil, this is the most perfect soil I have ever dealt with. The vision for this front garden was to fashion it after a colonial dooryard garden. A dooryard garden was essential to an early American household. It was the place where you put the essential herbs that you needed for medicine, for food, for tea, for flavoring, for almost every aspect of your life. And you needed them close, and so you could walk out the front door, get whatever you needed, bring it inside. So that was the inspiration. It's not an exact historical garden, but it did inspire this design. There are 4 kinds of plants that are included here: herbs, native plants, fragrant plants, and pollinator plants. Notice the walkways as you look down on this garden. On the sides are beautifully curved walkways that allow you to get into the plants, not only to see them, but to harvest them. And they have been covered with crushed shell. This was a very typical walkway feature in a Lewis garden, and it's such a wonderful crunch when you walk on it. This is one of my favorite plants. It's sweet goldenrod. Sweet goldenrod, once upon a time, was a very important tea made from the leaves. Sweet goldenrod was voted as the state herb of Delaware because of its herbal use and its nativity here. One of the ways the garden has a lot of color and randomness is from self-seeding annuals. This euphorbia snow on the mountain, it's very old-fashioned as a garden plant, and I got it at a flea market for $1, and now it's all over, and I really love the way it looks, so I let it reseed and I pull out the extra seedlings. Also, the salvia coral nymph right here, that's a reseeder, and it pops up, and so you kind of get a randomness, which I think is very fun. For fragrance and flavor, I love lemon verbena. It just is so delicious. I distill it in my still, I cook with it. This red canna also came from a flea market on the side of the road, and it does so well here. I love it because it's tough. The hummingbirds love it too, often hovering around it.